Imagine this. It's 1987, and you've just been announced as prom queen. But as it turns out, being prom queen just might kill you. That's the premise of what just might be the most interesting sequel to a horror movie ever. And today, we'll look at this strange and kooky film that could be a spiritual successor to Nightmare on Elm Street Roman 2. It's a breakdown of Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night Roman 2 today on Evidential Anecdotes.
I'm going to tell you a story about a Mary Lou. I mean the kind of a woman make a fool of you.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to a summer scary edition of Evidential Anecdotes. I hope everyone is having an excellent day or night wherever you are. I also hope you're keeping nice and cool. Today, as part of Summer Extravaganza 2026, we're going to go back to the 1980s and go to the prom. I know, prom season was a while ago, but hey. That doesn't mean that we can't celebrate. And what better way to do that than to look at the cheesy, sleazy, and creepy sequel to Prom Night? But let's talk about how this movie came about. Ronnie Oliver, the screenwriter for this film, had originally titled it The Haunting of Hamilton High, but when it came to distribution, the producers decided to capitalize on the success of the first film and tacked the Prom Night moniker onto it. The only real connections to the first film are: 1, it's the same high school as the first film; 2, there's a line from the first that you hear throughout the whole franchise; and 3, producer Peter Simpson's son, Brock, appears in all the films. Other than that, this is an entirely different animal. And yet people really remember this one. So let's go back to high school and find out just why we say hello to Mary Lou.
Mary, she took my diamond ring. Oh, Mary Lou. Mary, she took my watch and chain. Mary Lou, she took the keys to my Cadillac car.
We open on a rainy night in 1957. A young, beautiful woman, played by Lisa Schrage, enters the confession booth of a church. And here, the young lady lists her many sins: disobeying her parents, sinful relations, and taking the Lord's name in vain. The priest admonishes her and says that she must be ready for the consequences. But here's the twist. Turns out she enjoyed every minute of it. She ends her confession by writing, "For a good time, call Mary Lou," in red lipstick on the confessional wall. And here's a little trivia: the phone number in the message is screenwriter Ronnie Oliver's number. We then cut to the prom being held at Hamilton High, where Mary Lou dances with her boyfriend Billy to Little Richard's Tutti Frutti. She thanks him for giving her his class ring. Pay attention, as this will be important later. When they sit down to have a break, Mary Lou asks Billy if he could get her a glass of punch, but as he does, she sneaks backstage with another boy, Bud Cooper, to drink and make out. Billy finds out and confronts them, royally pissed off that Mary Lou would do this. Bud makes a joke about shaking hands since it's the closest he would get to Mary Lou in a year. Yuck. Back in the gym, Billy tries to get Mary Lou to come back with him, but she turns him down, adding that,
"It's not who you come with, it's who takes you home."
She promptly tosses her punch onto him right in front of everyone and saunters off. Wow, Billy, you really got a winner there. Back in the boys' bathroom, he tries to clean himself up when he overhears 2 boys planning to use a stink bomb. A teacher, or maybe the principal, hard to say, shows up right on cue, and the 2 ditch the unlit bomb in the trash. But Billy decides to use it. Mary Lou is announced as prom queen and accepts a bouquet of flowers on stage. Trouble with the cape makes her tell the assistant to forget it and just give her the crown. On the rafters above the stage, Billy lights the stink bomb and tosses it down onto Mary Lou. Unfortunately, the fuse catches Mary Lou's dress on fire a la Carrie, and she burns to death right in front of everyone in what might be the most impressive fire stunt I've ever seen in a horror film. Before she dies, she sees Billy up in the rafters. Now we switch to 1987, and once again it's senior prom time. Here we meet our hero, Vicky, played by Wendy Lyon. She wants to buy a new dress for the prom, but her overly religious mother refuses to give her the money for it. Huh. Where have I seen this before?
The boys, yes, the boys. After the blood come the boys, like sniffing dogs, grinning and slobbering and trying to find out where that smell comes from. Where the smell is, that smell. Listen, I know where they take their cars. I see it all right. Well, you're not going.
Her boyfriend Craig, played by Louis Ferreira, comes to pick her up on his beautiful motorcycle, though his helmet looks like something from Tron. Both talk about her being nominated for Queen, and Vicky talks about how she'll just find something else to wear. The next scene takes us to science class, where nerdy Joss H., played by Brock Simpson, introduces his experiment of a potato radio. But it isn't easy to focus on with everyone chatting through it. Vicky chats with her best friend Monica, played by Beverly Hendry, about finding a date for the prom. And in this scene, Monica must be the most oblivious person ever. She talks about not finding a date when a boy asks if he could talk to her after school. She turns him down and then goes back to say why no one has asked her out yet. Oh brother. Cut to the hallway and we meet Kelly, Vicky's rival for prom queen, played deliciously evil by Terry Hawkes. And if her voice sounds familiar to you, it's because Terry was the original dub voice of Sailor Moon in the 90s. She talks about how her dress is going to look like Elizabeth Taylor's dress. We also find out that Billy is now the principal himself, played by Michael Ironside, and he isn't thrilled that Craig, surprise, his own son, is talking about taking a year off before college. Jess, Vicky's other friend, played by Beth Gondek, suggests that Vicky look in the prop room of the theater to see if she can find something to wear. And what does she find? She finds Mary Lou's crown, cape, and sash in a trunk. Okay, why would the school keep something like that? The minute she does, Mary Lou's spirit is released. In Billy's office, the old picture's glass cracks right over Mary Lou. If that isn't a hint that something is going to go down, I don't know what is. Oh, and where's Bud in all this? He found God and is now Father Cooper, played by Richard Monette. Back at school during home economics, God, do I miss home economics? Vicky and Monica examine the crown and sash, commenting on the fact that the jewels in the crown are glass and that the last person who wore this died in a fire on the stage. But Jess seems to have lost her prom night spirit as she stomps out of the classroom. She has a good reason for her outburst: she's pregnant. Oh, that night, Jess stays behind to work on the crown and cape. But Mary Lou has something to say about that. She attacks Jess and nearly beheads her with a paper slicer. Those things always scare me, only to suddenly haul the unfortunate girl up by the cape and strangle her to death. Once she's dead, her lifeless body is thrown through a window and everything resets itself. The next day, Vicky and crew are horrified as they watch the ambulance cart off Jess's body. We then cut to Jess's funeral, presided over by Father Cooper, but Vicky wanders away. As she does, she comes across Mary Lou's grave. I find it interesting that on the tombstone itself we see no year of birth or the year she died. I guess it didn't fit in with the budget. Back at school, the crown has been put inside a display case, and Vicky and Monica comment on it. Kelly, in proper 80s nemesis fashion, makes a nasty quip about how the competition is getting small and that Jess had the right idea.
You shut your fucking mouth, bitch!
You tell Vicky. Billy comes up behind them and Vicky spots him watching. And for some reason, she says his name. Why does she do that? I don't get it. Anywho, later, Vicky starts to have these nightmarish visions, first of the cafeteria from hell. Freddy would be quite comfortable here. Then she's in a hallway where the water fountain spews blood and a creepy greaser dude calls her Mary Lou and tries to, well, you can use your imagination as to what he tries. Vicky is also lashing out at her family and friends due to her paranoia. Her mother at once tells her to go to confession. Yeah, like that's going to be a great solution. Father Cooper hears her confession and is stunned to hear the name Mary Lou. He isn't exactly sure what to tell her, so this confession didn't turn out so well. In the meantime, Billy is starting to wonder if their old flame has returned. After his talk with Vicky, Father Cooper goes to his old rival and tells him that Mary Lou's back and wants to complete what happened to her the night of her death. Billy calls him crazy, and they leave each other in anger. Vicky continues to break down, getting knocked out at a volleyball match, nearly attacked by her rocking horse Uhu. And even slapping Kelly right in the middle of class, though to Vicky's credit, she saw Mary Lou sneering at her.
Poor Vicky. Cracking up?
Then our Vicky is kidnapped by, demons, I think, in a very impressive special effect of a blackboard becoming a liquid and pulling her into it. And who should come out of the trunk backstage but Vicky, only this time she's possessed by Mary Lou. Oh boy, you might want to strap in, kids. This film is gonna be a doozy from here on out.
Got her, a rich man had a dozen kids. Drove that cat until he flipped his lid. She took my diamond ring. She took my watch and chain.
Anyway, the next day, everyone comments on how Vicky looks and acts differently. For one thing, she's dressed in 50s style clothes, her hair done differently, and even talking in 50s slang. Josh assumes that it's possible she may be possessed by a demon or a ghost.
Is she sick or something?
Maybe she's possessed. Your mother sews socks in hell, Father Karras.
Later that night, Vicky visits Father Cooper for confession again. Only this time she reveals herself as Mary Lou. He tries to drive her off with a crucifix, but that doesn't work. After a great line about heaven and hell, Vicky kills Fr. Cooper in a weird camera spin shot. During a science lesson with a Bunsen burner, Vicky decides to give the lecherous teacher a taste of his own medicine by setting his crotch on fire. Monica notices that Vicky somehow caused it. Much later in the locker room/showers, Monica confronts Vicky and asks what's going on. She tells Vicky that she needs help, to which Vicky says that everything's swell.
Says swell anymore.
After Monica goes to wash up, she's surprised by Vicky. She apologizes for the accusation, and Vicky tells her it's okay. Then she goes ahead to kiss Monica on the nose, the forehead, the cheek. You see where this is going, right?
Because I'm in lesbians with you.
Turns out Monica's not into this, so she runs into the locker room with Vicky in hot pursuit. She finally hides in one and watches as Vicky looks for her. And when she does find her, the lockers crunch in on each other and blood oozes out of the middle. Although I must admit that it looks more like cherry Kool-Aid than blood. After this unfortunate misadventure, Vicky eventually visits Billy in his office just after he wakes up from a very odd nightmare. She teases him about being ready for the world that night, but she didn't get her crown because of him. After a shot at Craig, she leaves his office, leaving Billy even more shaken up than before. Finally, it's prom night. Finally, I thought we'd never get there. Vicky is now wearing a very lovely blue dress and rocking on her rocking horse. Oh wait, isn't that the one that tried to, oh never mind. Her dad comes in and calls her beautiful, going on to say that he spent his first paycheck on her mother's corsage and a tuxedo. Then Vicky asks her daddy to hold her. And what annoys the hell out of me is that he really doesn't try to stop her. Dude, your daughter is trying to kiss you. What the hell are you doing? Her mom comes in and stops them and calls Vicky a harlot and Jezebel. What does Vicky do about that? She sends her straight through the screen door. Well, it's not being crucified like Saint Sebastian with knives sticking out of you, but it's satisfying. Craig wakes up after being knocked out by Vicky in an earlier scene with his dad nearby. After telling his dad that his girlfriend's been acting weird and that they need to save her, Billy agrees, but then knocks Craig out again, but with a shoe. Great parenting in this movie, I tell you. Now we're at the prom and boy, is there neon everywhere. Our prom theme was Starry, Starry Night and we did well. Anyway, everyone is dressed to impress. And Josh is in another room tallying up the votes electronically, which, I must admit, is cool. Kelly sneaks in and, decides to offer a bigger prize to Josh for changing the winner. I think you can guess what it is. And Josh proves to be the lesser man by taking Kelly's bribe and changing the winner. Mary Lou's not having that and electrocutes poor Josh through the computer. Aw man, I wanted him to help Craig rescue Vicky near the end. Guess what? Vicky is the winner. And I love the look on Kelly's face when she realizes what happened. This guy's comment really seals the deal. That's one of the producers in a cameo.
Hey Kelly, how'd you blow it?
Classic. But as Vicky/Mary Lou is about to accept the crown, Billy appears and fires 2 bullets into her. Oh my God. She falls to the ground, and Craig, having woken up and gunned his motorcycle as fast as he could to the high school, runs on stage to hold her in his arms. Is that it yet? Oh, we ain't done yet, kiddos. It's only a couple of seconds before the bullets pop out like popcorn and a rotting hand comes up out of her torso, grabbing Craig around the throat. And in one of the best monster reveal scenes ever, Mary Lou comes out of Vicky's corpse in gory zombie fashion. That's one hell of an entrance. During this, Mary Lou uses her demonic powers to destroy the auditorium. Kelly is taken out of the equation when a neon lightning bolt stabs her through the torso. Ouch. Finally, Mary Lou is back. She's royally pissed off that first Billy, and now Craig ruined her moment of glory, though how she thinks Craig did it, I have no idea.
Really starting to piss me off.
I must give kudos to Lisa Schrage for pulling off the decaying corpse/angry glamour girl look here. She chases Craig backstage to where her trunk has now become the portal to hell. Craig's being sucked into it. Wait, what's this? It's Billy with Mary Lou's crown. He crowns her as she has always wished, and then they kiss for quite a few minutes. Then we find ourselves back in heaven or something, and Mary Lou, in her full prom queen regalia, dances with young Billy surrounded by their peers. Wish fulfillment, ladies and gentlemen. With Mary Lou banished, Craig is able to rescue Vicky, who looks dazed as she climbs out of the trunk. She looks wet and haggard but is grateful for the rescue. We go outside where several folks are being treated for their injuries by medical personnel as a police officer takes a statement from one of the teachers. Craig and Vicky head out looking tired and exhausted. Billy appears and offers to drive them both home. But as we go into the car, the radio switches to Mary Lou by Ronnie Hawkins. Billy turns to the teens in the back seat and says with a maniacal grin, "They're playing our song." The camera then zooms in on the ring that he had given Mary Lou. Oh, I think Mary Lou may have found another body to possess. With a phrase from Billy and a horrified scream from Vicky, the car drives off, showing off the license plate.
I'm going to tell you a story about Mary.
Hey, kids. They're playing our song. Let's cruise.
And end credits. So there we have it, the plot breakdown for Hello, Mary Lou. It's crazy, isn't it? Now, let's go over some of the history behind how this movie came to be. As I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, this film was originally called The Haunting of Hamilton High, but the head honchos behind film production decided to tack on the prom night as a way to package the film and boost its marketability. According to many sources, there were a lot of reshoots on set because the producers weren't happy with the first cut of the film. Peter Simpson, the executive producer, ordered the reshoots, and they were shoved in at the last minute. TCH Hollywood. Because of the reshoots, Hello, Mary Lou still seems to be in line with the original premise of the first film, but keeps an identity all its own. You may recall that at one point I called this film a spiritual successor to Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and there's an excellent reason as to why. Nose 2 has a very succinct gay and homoerotic overtone, partly due to the screenwriter being gay and several scenes that point to certain taboo subjects at the time. In Hello, Mary Lou, our antagonist, Mary Lou, is proud of her wickedness as said in the confession booth scene in 1957. And as shown in the shower/chase scene with Monica, Mary Lou as Vicky isn't afraid to approach women in her sexual appetite. Was she going to convince Monica to sleep with her if Monica hadn't freaked out? Who knows? The film didn't do very well financially and as such remained an interesting mark on the Prom Night franchise. If anything, it sets the tone for the next two movies in the franchise. Yes, there are two other films in this franchise. Yes, I have already watched them. No, I am not going to review them as they are pieces of garbage. Now here is why I like this film.
She come back into town about a week ago. Told me she was sorry that she hurt me so. I had a 55 Ford and a $2 bill. Way she took that a minute gave me a chill.
First, the plot itself is crazy. An unrequited prom queen takes revenge when someone opens her trunk. I still want to know why in the bloody hell why the school thought they should keep it. But somehow it works. The performances are also top-notch. The two I find myself enjoying the most are Wendy Lyon and Lisa Schrage. Wendy has the best time, first as playing the hero of our story and then as being possessed by Mary Lou Vicky. She really relishes both roles and has a fun time. But holy hell, does Lisa Schrage just beat her out for the best performance. And why does she have the best? Because she throws herself into it, especially in the finale. Standing on the stage, half decayed yet looking absolutely fabulous, is something I didn't know I wanted. And not only that, but Lisa still looks gorgeous and gracious. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Terry Hawkes hamming it up as Kelly. She really seems to enjoy playing the mean girl, which is a teeny bit odd for those of us who grew up listening to her as Sailor Moon. So, my dear listeners, I highly, highly recommend that you check out Hello, Mary Lou Prom Night Roman 2. Not only will you have a fun time, but you may find yourself wondering why someone like Mary Lou Maloney wasn't at my prom. Well, thanks for joining me for this special summer scary episode of Evidential Anecdotes. As always, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, or a like on Spotify and wherever else you like to listen to podcasts. This is Gaby thanking you all for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode of Evidential Anecdotes. Take care, everyone.
She took my diamond ring. She took my watch and chain. She took the keys to my Cadillac car. Jumped in my kitty and she drove her far. Well, she jumped in my kitty and she drove her far.